Hello everyone, welcome to the third part of the beginner series. In previous video we saw about a quick tour on Blender. We saw what are these things arranged in Blender application right now you see, and what are the different sections we have it here. Today we will see a little bit deep about a 3D viewport editor, why it is important, and also we will render our first image. This is Jay from CJ Academy. Let's start it. Why we need to know about 3D viewport editor? So 3D viewport is one of the editors. So I have explained about this in the previous video. You can check it if you haven't checked it yet. I will give you the details in the description. Okay, why 3D viewport editor? Why it is important to know it first? Just if you pay close attention here, these are different workspaces here. As I switch between the workspaces, you can see the 3D viewport is changing. I mean, the options are changing, the way it looks is changing, the objects are inside it is also changing. That's because 3D viewport is one of the main part or main area where you will do a lot of things in Blender, right from modeling to till animation, till exporting it out of it. Knowing about 3D viewport editor is critical. What exactly we see here? So we can separate this into four sections. One is the top bar or the top section of 3D viewport, the toolbar section, the sidebar section, and the main working area where the objects are placed. Okay, so we will not go deep into each of these. We will see only what is required, and gradually we will build our knowledge on this. So what we have, so the top section is further classified into three sections here. This is the left side, is a middle section, and there is the right section. So in left side you have option to switch between editors, you know about that. There are different modes. We will see each and every mode as and when we go through these videos. Right now you know that there are different modes. Right now we are in object mode. There is option for view, the different things you can do. In selection you can do different kind of selections, you can add different kind of objects, and there is something you can do on top of the object. So that's the left section. The middle section has information about axis and the cursor, how it is placed, and all. So we don't do much here at the moment, so you can just leave it as it is. The right side you have again options for viewing, what you can view, what you can't view, and how you view it are all here. The only important point what you have to understand here is there is a different type of viewing option here, like as a wireframe, just as a model, or with a material preview, or with the render preview. So each one has its own purpose. So for now we are going to see in the display as a solid mode. Okay, so this is about the top section. So now we come to the toolbar section. Why we call this a toolbar is, for each type of mode you select, the tools keep changing. So now you can see it's, I am going between different modes here. We don't need to go deep into this, but for now just know different type of mode has its own type set of tools. So that's why we call it the toolbar section. And the left side has the sidebar. A lot of menus we have here as well. We don't use all of them. I'll explain about the item option in a bit. We will come to that. And what we have in the middle is the working area. So if I select here in the box selection, you can see on the left side in the outliner editor, three objects are here. So in total we have three objects: lights, camera, cube, the object. So it's something similar to lights, camera, action. So that's all we need for a movie or animation. We need a light, we need a camera, and we need some action to be happening here. So for now we just have one object because we are not doing any animation yet. We will come to that in upcoming videos. Okay, now we need to see a little bit about the toolbar section here. We need to understand three basic operations you can do on an object. So those are move, rotate, and scale. Before that I'll just explain what it is. This is just a cursor for a selection. You can select different things with this, and this is a 3D cursor. I'll explain about the 3D cursor in upcoming videos, but right now we don't need to do much about it. And we have move. if you see, there is a shortcut for it. So for to move object, G is the shortcut. For rotate, R. For scale, yes. Let's say I select an object, so we remember G for move. When you press G in your system, it may not be the same. You see a little bit different. Maybe you don't see this axis here. That's because I have enabled the add-on. It's called lazy viewport. I have explained that in the first video. I'll give you the link in the description for that, so you can refer to that. It's a powerful, add-on. It's really helpful. Okay, so what move does? It simply moves the object in. If you want to move it in a particular axis, you can do, or if you want to move it in general, you can, press the or hold on to the little circle you have, and you can have it in a three-dimensional move. Or if you want something in specific to the axis, you can do. That's for G. And R is for rotate. You can rotate again based on a particular axis, or you can, rotate in general using, the uh, white circle. That's for rotate. And select, yes, for scale. So if I don't select an object, this G, S, R will not work, because it needs an object to make any other, operations. So now I select S again. This is for scale. If you want to scale it in a particular axis, you can do that. See, if I want to move it in a particular axis, I can do that. And if I want to scale it in a general way, I can do that. Okay. And transform is nothing but the combination of all these three options. It's just that I can show you here. So you can also see in the items section, there is called something called transform. So again, here also the same thing: location, rotation, and scale. Location, if you change here, it changes. Okay, so transform is nothing but all these three movement combined together. Okay, if you see here, the arrow marks means you can move it. If you, place it on the arrow mark, the cursor, you can move it. On the square, if you put, you can scale it. And on the wheel or the arc option, you can rotate it. So it's basically combination of all these three options. At first it may be a little bit tough for you to follow, but if you, if you get familiar with it, it's really a powerful option. You can pretty much easily do a lot of things on these objects. So that's about the toolbar. The remaining options we will see as and when it is required, but at the moment it's not needed. Okay, on the right side, I told we have some options. At present we only see the item option. The other things you don't need it. So this is just a shortcut I have, to show you what keys I press. So far, yeah, it was not required, so you can see it now. Okay, so as I mentioned, G for grab, R for rotate, and S for scale. Okay, that's about it. That's about the tools. So let's now put our first render here. First image, let's render first image. If you want, we can render like this, but yeah, it's okay. You can start from scratch. Get familiar with it. You will have to do a lot of times. From scratch, you may have to start it, because we play around a lot. Okay, let's render a first image. To render the image, you have to go to render and render image. So this is more like the baby step of rendering the animation. Okay, now we see something different here. Okay, I rendered my first image, that is fine, but it's nothing like what I see here. That's because the view is different. Okay, now we are viewing in solid mode, but what you see in solid mode will not be visible. What you see in render mode is what is visible, and that too, what you see within the camera view is what will be visible. Okay, now we can touch this options here. So zoom, this is for just zoom in, zoom out using just a mouse click, and this is for grabbing it, and this is for toggling between camera view and the normal view. Now, this is just for perspective, but you don't worry about it much now, it's not needed. So Now if I say camera view and I selected the display mode as render preview, now the exact it will match. Okay, so what it does is it takes into consideration of the camera position and also the light position and how it displays on the object, how the shadow falls, and all those calculation it takes, and it gives you render output. Okay, this is similarly what you will do for animation, but you will record this object transformation through a period of time. So that we will cover it in our next video or in the upcoming videos. So it's a bit advanced, so you need to know a little bit more about the 3D viewport and how to edit things in Blender. Okay, for now, you know this is how rendering is done, and you can toggle between camera view from here, but also from here. Okay, so we have seen a lot of things now. Yeah, we have seen what are the options in the top section in 3D viewport, and also about the toolbar menu, the sidebar menu. It's collapsible, and you can collapse it and expand it just by clicking on the small, you know, triangle option given here. So that's how you hide it and enable it. Okay, and we have seen about the three objects here, the light, camera, and the object, and we just rendered our first image. Yeah, it's a leap. Now uh, you can play around how it looks, and you can try to do something on this and see how it looks and how you can render the image out. So while rendering the image, please always keep an eye on the viewport and also where exactly the camera is located. So by default, it's located like this. If I go and select a new animation, you can see it's centered for the object. If you move this object somewhere, so then you have to take into account what you will see in the camera. In those case, you will have to move the camera and adjust it. We will see a little bit deeper into this in upcoming videos, but for now, yeah, you can just play around this and bring the objects into the camera position. You can even play around the light and see how this affects the object. If I go here and, yeah, move the object and the light around and see how it affects the lighting. See, now we have a different rendering here. Okay, so that's about it. In next video, we will dive deep into the modeling, how to build some objects and all, what are the options we have that we will see, and finally we will be able to add some materials to it, textures and all, and we will go to the final part, that's the animation. So we will do a simple animation which I have shown in my channel as a just a teaser. Yeah. Okay, that's about it. If you like this video, please put a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We have a lot of exciting contents coming your way. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment section. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, see you in the next video. Take care.